Otherwise, I'd have game music coming in through my mic, and, would have been terrible. Could have been disastrous. Hello, Professor Bright here, and I'm currently going live now. Aha! Success of a sort. I'm even on time for once. Isn't it lovely? No. I've been fairly good. I've only missed one scheduled stream for food-related illnesses. Anyhow, we are in Eleutheria. Speaking of food-related illnesses, my god, this place is kind of horrifying. I mean, I hesitate to say it's actually that horrifying. The creatures are. The creatures are undeniably just things I never want to see again, actually. But the place itself, kinda... I don't know, I kinda like it. It is very much related to colonialism, I guess. I hesitate to say that, It reminds me of a horrific version of what some unexplored areas of the world would be, at least to the Victorian sensibilities. Now, question, because this was a question that came up, is there a way for me to get something other than my current mining tool? It does not look like there is. I want to be doubly sure of that, but yeah, I don't... If there is, I do not see it, which makes me sad. Extremely sad, because I would really like some other things. A saying, for example. That's Assasyeng. Ooh. Hesperidian. Can I rename you? I cannot seem to do that. Makes me sad. No, don't want to jettison something yet. Just want to take a look at my prospects. Get a little bit of searching done. Let's see here. 5 stacks of verdant seeds. Sorry, what? Oh, to Achilles. Neat. Can do. Have done, technically. Alright. I might need to see about abandoning those other 2 prospects, but for now I say let's just explore Eleutheria a wee bit more. Again, I'm not going to fully explore this place because that's what the final release is for. It's why it exists. Oh, but that does remind me, I have been told that my Cyclopean owl, despite only having 1 eye, is probably a better scout than my current bat, and honestly, with the attitude I've been getting from him, I'm inclined to agree. I'm just not a fan of this bat. His lip. His non-lip. Bats have lips? No, I don't know. Unimportant in the grand scheme of things, I suppose. No. Get rid of the diffident bat. Put in the Cyclopean owl. And then... yes. Aha! Success of a sort. Well, we'll see anyway. Let's see, let's go north. Was gonna go west, but yeah, I mean, I'm northerly now, so let's see. I'm sorry, is that thing moving, by the way? Just a side note. I can't tell, and that disturbs me. Oathbreaker's Circle, you say? Some type of 6-armed thing. It did look like it was moving. Ooh. 2 things, you say? Well, what 2 things have you found me besides a pool of darkness? Yeah, we noticed these. Yeah, appears to be a black hole. I think this is a bad idea, but let's do it. Shoot it. Okay, shooting the darkness did not work. Neat that it exists, but I'm not going to go into that. I'm an explorer. I am not a suicidal idiot. Nope, stop that. Not the right button. I remember I can use tab to do that. Oh, hey, buddy. You're not going to try to kill me. Although, question, the whistling apps. Doesn't look like it would have anything. I mean, I could probably take this thing out. And I do need money very badly, so let's do that. Oh shit, it has mines! Oh dear, it has weapons that are much better than what I got. Shoot. I did not... Nope, didn't plan this very well. Okay, he also seems to be better protected than... Oh, no. A sound of chittering fills your cabin. From the shadows near the door steps a familiar silhouette. Mistress Fathom has come to collect what it deems you owe. Well... Damn it. I can't pay that price. Refuse to pay the price demanded. You will not be intimidated in your own cabin. Mistress Fathom reaches for a strip of cloth dangling from its hat and gives it the gentlest of tugs. Its many veils tumble to the ground, and it lunges. Your only memories are of acid flashes of claw, the echo of clacking noise, and scraping of mandibles being forced down into your throat. The creature does not take a pound of flesh, nothing so merciful. Something far deeper has been extracted in partial payment, leaving only nightmares to fill the void. You've gained a soul flaw, flickering. Soul light is unpersistent, as seen in failing incandescent lights. Great! Everything is going according to not plan. Nope. Stop. Okay, if I could reverse a bit faster, that would have been great. Damn it. Nope. Not getting me like that. God, you are durable. Very, very durable. Dang it. I would expect you to be dead by now. We talk about how their ships are much better than London's ships. Oh. Crap. That screwed me up. Ooh. Okay, yeah, we're going back to port now, because... Damn. Oh. 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 The Empyrean's Outriders are well-trained and loyal, if over-eager to fire on any engine without a light. They hunt dowsers, the fanatical adherents of the liberation of night. Oh. Sparks spew from the crippled engine, its floodlights flicker and fade. But its structure is intact enough to have sheltered survivors, who are likely to resist any attempt to plunder their vessel. I potentially could see something. Sure. Empyrean ships are built for extended voyages. They're well provisioned, and their officers often come from wealthy families. This is a bad plan, but we're doing it. It was a bad plan. The Imperials are waiting for you in the galley, which they have fortified with overturned tables and chairs. Your crew is unable to break through their line, and as you begin to take casualties, you have no choice but to sound the withdrawal. Nope, 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 nope. Okay. Was worried I'd take that one damage that it's going to take to kill me. So yeah, heading back, with our tail between our legs after that miserable display, it appears if I want to do some piracy, I'm going to need to, 1, improve my irons, and 2, improve my weapons. So about that, hello. Intriguing, but we'll get into that later. First, let me get back into the port, okay? Yeah. The Brazen Brigade. Can you hear the pipes, Captain? Crewman asks, their eyes bright. Hands a calling. Yeah, I'm kind of curious about this. Oh. Well, I'll wait and see for right now. We will take a wait-and-see approach. Because it might be the Calendar Council, like more members of the Calendar Council, or it might not be. So, guys, hey. Can anyone fix my locomotive, thank you. Hi. 14, you say? You costed me here. Yeah. I guess that'll do. Any new crew who want to come on board? No? Cool. Visit the Cypress King? Okay, I don't have any reports because I already turned them in last episode. Haha! Look at me and my planning. Alright, but this Brazen Brigade, tell me more about them. I'm curious. Okay, no, I thought there was another one up there as well. But it looks like it's just this bunch. Speaking of which, did I ever... Yeah, I did shift to turn the lights out. Okay. Should do caps lock? We'll survive. The Brazen Brigade. Tell me of them. This clot of sable groves is home to the Devils of the Brazen Brigade. At its heart stands the Adamant Idol, whose rhythmic piping determines the current hour in Pan. The Brazen Brigade are its interpreters. They promise they are utterly impartial. Of course they are. Aren't devils always? The Temple of Almost Time. One ruin rises above the rest. Dismal in its desolation, it commands the grove. From its broken windows, the Adamant Idol can be seen, like the moon viewed from a tower. The commanders and knights of the Brazen Brigade reside within. Here their solemnist... Enunciation. Yes, rituals and their dearest venerations are performed. In theory, I could make... Oh. I would have to join them. Interesting. Okay, I think... Well, the Grove are far too late. Here the Brazen Brigade venerate the Saints of Hell. Reliquaries speckle the ground like gemstones on a cardinal's vestment. A hill rises from the grove. Halfway up, Halfway up it, a broken temple rests below soaring arches. Behind the hill, from the center of Pan, the Adamant Idol is clearly visible. Long shadows move below the arches, swaying to the rhythmic wail of the pipes. Enter the grove, walk in the fiefdom of the Brazen Brigade, the devils that aspire to seize heaven's thrones. Ooh. Thou hast taken and shall not render again. The carved faces of saints peer down at you from arches and columns. Some have expressions, of serenity. Their many mouths gently smiling. Other, more ecstatic saints are contorted in sanctified rapture. A curious dilettante waves you to join him by a sunken arch. You're just in time, thereabout. He's cut off by the sound of horns. A troop of devils thunder past. A single devil in a suit is their quarry. They pursue him to the boundary of the grove, where he disappears in the mists. They hate the Republicans of their kin, the dilettante whispers. They will not suffer equality here. Curious. I mean... No, that seems like a bad plan. But a savage secret, that could be useful. What do you want in exchange? Eleutherian mysteries? Curious. Speak to the curious dilettante. What can he tell you about himself? Does he know more about the Brazen Brigade? He looks up from his sketchbook. I wish to witness suffering, not out of sadism, you understand, but my station life has always been privileged. My art myself lacks something for it. Wishing to learn more of injustice of doomed causes, I came here. The Brigade have been very accommodating. I think they appreciate the interest. As for the Brigade, they are unique among devils I've known. Their saints are the grand devils who once served in the heavens, but rebelled and were cast down or imprisoned or fled. The stories are inconsistent on the point. Or rather, inconsistent on the point. That point. Bah. Humbug. An artist tolerated by the Brigade for his sympathies with their splendor. He likes to be of help to newcomers to the Brigade. He's interested in sharing stories of Eleutheria. The dilettante listens hungrily, his cloudy white eye not once leaving your face. I shall have to see that for myself, but not until the Brigade ceases to inspire. He shows you a few of his sketches of the translation of relics from across the skies to be buried in the grove, of the dances at the feast of the King of Carols, of the hunts done below the arches. I don't think I'll be joining them. Don't seem like my kind of people. Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm all about the whole rebellion against the heavens thing, but from a more egalitarian approach. Not very big on the whole, we're not going to suffer equality here. No, sorry, friend. Not my kind of game. Now, question. Are there 4 places or only 3? Because I assume that there should be one up here, apropos of nothing. But I see that there's one down this way. And so I am curious, so let us see. Let us see that we might know. Heartcatcher Gardens, you say? A grizzled coterie of gardeners care for this unusual orchard. The plants that grow here are heartcatchers, whose fruit looks and speaks like human heads. Delightful! The Mimyricon. The inner gardens are surrounded by a hedge as thick as a fortress wall, knotted with thorns and strangled with vines. Behind it are the grove homes of the Heartcatchers, steeped in Eleutheria's midnight and frequented only by their favored servants. Within the Mimyricon, the Heartcatchers are big as trees and clustered with mature heads. Each plant is a council of intellects, debating the secrets of the sky. Neat. Seek entry. An arch in the hedge leads inside. A dozen heads, gray-haired and bitter, appear from among the leaves. Begone, the heads insist. You have not been chosen, you have not served. As far as you can tell, the whole hedge is the body of one vast, brambly Heartcatcher. As you turn to leave, one of its heads whispers something, and the others snigger. When you ask what was amusing, a hawk-nosed head apologizes. Sorry, we'll just never get used to how much your heads look like fruit. No. That's not very nice at all. Humph. A series of finely manicured indigo lawns cover this corner of Pan. Peculiar plants grow in the beds, tangled as rose bushes and budding with fruit. The fruit is lumpen. Perfectly formed facial features are growing on it. This one has a frantic, staring eye. This one is growing an ear. This one keens pitiably through tiny, trembling lips. Silent gardeners, whose broad-brimmed hats are hung with veils to hide their faces, tend devotedly to the plants. Well, speak to a green-fingered old warhorse. He removes his hat, the face beneath is scarred and bleak. A soldier's face. He must occupy a senior position, for the other gardeners nod their heads as they pass him. Beneath his overalls, he wears a rat-skin suit, ragged from the plant's playful thorns. There's a deadness to his gaze. A rat-skin suit, you say? Usually worn by thugs back in old fallen London. Ask about the petitioners. A number of desperate-looking people are lined at the hedgerow gate to the inner gardens. The Heartcatchers know many secrets, he says. Among them is a method to capture a death and seal it away so it can't trouble you. If you fear a particular end, like drowning, say, or freezing, the Heartcatchers could hide it away. He takes a cage of squirming mice from his coat, fishes one out, and drops it into the thorny vines of the closest plant. The vines constrict, the mouse squeaks, the plant shivers. There's no guarantee of immortality, of course. 1,000 deaths wait in the skies. But what about yourself, though? Judging from his military bearing, he was not always a gardener. No, once I was a soldier and a commander of soldiers. I was good at it, as such things are measured. Now I keep the gardens, tend the Heartcatchers, and pray that I have no further effect on the world at all. Another gardener passes you, carrying a bucket. Kneeling by a bed full of budding Heartcatchers, they tip the bucket over. The contents ooze, readily, onto the soil. Tell me more about these guys? They're species native to the heavens, he observes. Here in the nurseries, we help the younger specimens grow to maturity before transferring them to the inner gardens, the Mimyricon. He indicates some colleagues who are digging up the largest plant in the garden and wrestling it into a cart while it tries affectionately to throttle them. Affectionately. You note its fruit, which are now big enough to resemble the face of bawling cherubs. Once fully grown, the warhorse continues, their fruit can reason and speak and debate, more effectively than we even. Each plant is an entire council or faculty. And what about this inner garden, though? A hedge encloses it. An archway permits entrance, but is protected by a mature Heartcatcher whose cynical faces peer from the thicket. They excoriate intruders with insightful critique. I'm sorry, just take a moment to look up excoriate? Yes. I assume it means insult or some other such thing. Excoriate. Censure or criticize severely. Yep. Okay. Makes sense. They did seem a little bit mean-spirited. Well, actually, no, ask about it. Only friends of the Heartcatchers may enter the Mimiricon. Okay. And successful petitioners, of course, but the latter are blindfolded. Perhaps if you performed a service for the Heartcatchers, they would warm to you. Bye. I mean, I guess I have no other choice, really. Whisper Eleutherian mysteries to the Heartcatchers. The young plants require more than meat and bone meal. Their minds, too, must be nourished. Oh. The green-fingered old warhorse leads you to a frail-looking Heartcatcher whose leaves are so thin as to be translucent. You find a pale fruit that bears a delicate ear and whisper your mysteries to it. It listens closely. As thanks, the old warhorse gives you an obtuse artifact. We find them while turning the soil, he says. Its function is inscrutable, but the design engraved on it show the Eleutherian sky occupied by two suns. Curious, for I see no sun now. Curious. Well. That's an interesting little idea. I am curious, but we must explore other places. See what else is out there in the dark and terrible places. Oh, also, sorry, one moment. Slight oversight. One moment. Well, I'll keep going while I fix this. Oh shit. There is a Lorn fluke in the sky. Oh, and it notices me. That's not good. Okay, can we please make that not be happening right now? Okay, yep. That's just gonna keep happening, I guess. A scorn fluke, you say? I'm just gonna back off from that. How much damage does that do? 12. Okay, yeah, that's bad. This is a bad idea. Bad idea. And then he walked away. But if I can kill it... If I could kill this thing. Damn it. Nope. Well. Resume. I mean, for the obvious reasons. Sorry, it's going to be away for one moment, and... Bah. Sorry, I just want to change the title of the stream. We're no longer preparing for Eleutheria, we are in it. So, yes. And now we're going to try that again, except slightly differently, because I'm hoping not to die. Fingers crossed and all that. Oh dear. Oh, dearie, dear me. Dear us. Alright. So yeah, I see that scorn fluke. I'm going to ignore it this time. Well, I mean, I say ignore it. I'm just going to shoot it a little bit. Because of course I am, but also... Also, I'm just going to run. Bye. Goodbye. Wow, that sounds unpleasant. Anyway, what'd you find? Oh, something to eat. Yeah, I mean, if I had butchery, I could do something with that, but I don't, so I can't. But in the grand scheme of things, it's fine, though. It really, in the grand scheme of everything, it's fine. It's fine. These are the ruins of Perturbia, haunted by those driven mad in the skies. So, everybody. Also, Perturbia. A little bit on the nose, isn't it? Okay, whatever's that. Whatever that is. If it can go away, that'd be great. Leave. Go away. Huh. Well, there's two somethings this way. Bete Noir. And what I think might be one of the winds, but also... Oh, damn. I mean, cool that you discovered something. It's over that way, though. Let's find out about this. Because this might be one of the suns. The Well of Wonders, you say? Wells are prisons, Captain, remember that. Are they now? Let's approach. Ooh. Approaching the Well of Wonders. The air is thick as treacle. Rocks rattle against the hull, thrown by the well winds. From deep in the darkness comes a sound, the tortured whine of damp violins and rusted horns, the universe tuning its instruments. Descend into the well, hulls can be repaired. I mean, yeah. Between the well's pull and the well wind's push, your locomotive is jerked and jolted. The engine room is unbearable, but before your stokers collapse, you push through to a calm beneath the storm, a bubble of peace surrounding a floating garden. Here a maze of pebbled paths and immaculate hedges lead only to vicious thorn bushes which surround the island. A full half of the place is dominated by a Grecian-style theater, with seats carved out of a hill to face a stage of bone-white sand. On the edge of dream, an awakening. A disturbance. Awake, the play will begin once again. This time my story will be told. Visitors from far away, a new taste in the air. You trespass in my garden. The silence is broken, clumsy animal footsteps, the stench of human flesh in my presence. Trespassers, you walk my paths, pluck the fruit from my trees, gorge yourselves until your bellies ache and your fat chins glisten with juice. Enjoy your stolen feast. You and you will join my chorus. The rest of you are not worthy of a role. Wait, that one, the captain, walking alone. The captain, yes, a different kind of soul, a spark of potential, perhaps. We shall see. Perhaps prepare to wake up, my children. We have guests. Oh my. Well, this is intriguing. A garden where time is still. The humans disembark to enjoy the calm my garden provides. Flower-perfumed air brushes their oily skin. Red apples bird in the trees and swollen berries cluster on every bush. They pause, cautious, but soon feasting begins. The captain explores the garden. They find themselves in a clearing shaded by cedar and oak. Oh. The trespasser captain approaches warily, despite the welcoming scents of afternoon tea. The tea is hot. The scones are soft and warm, dribbling with butter and strawberry jam. My guests sit frozen in their endless repast, watching eternity through unblinking, bloodshot eyes. Ooh. Ooh. The captain considers the careless scholar. My dear Prince Apostle prepares for the final show. The knowledge tempts people to strange shores. What did they think they would find with that contraption of mirrors and glass? A chance at glory? Soon, my scholar. I mean, I gotta go back. Let's take a look at this lost girl, the speaker of my truth, the first of my delightful pets. She fled her life all the way down a rabbit hole. In my garden, that dream came true. So many years have not passed for her since then. The captain examines the restless vagabond. My king who wars. Who else could take on such a role? His wanderings followed the sun beyond the edge of any map, but all such travels must cease eventually. The runaway scion. Did one of these disappear? No. Did they? Okay. I'm going to assume that they didn't. The captain examines the runaway scion. A poor match for the king who speaks, but one that suffices. A prince in waiting, fleeing an extinct kingdom. I've seen the royal blood spilled many times. His veins will not endure another performance of my story. Oh, shit. The captain pokes at the thrice-dead bride. Every chorus needs its mistress. She found profit in love and death many times over. Her story should have ended at the bottom of the well where her last victim overcame her. But the deepest wells often echo each other. When circumstances are right, their depths can bleed together. The captain notices the empty seat, a spare stone bench by the table awaiting its player. I mean, I'm not going to be the one who says it, but we're dead, guys. There's no way we're surviving this. Will you sit in it, my captain? Are you at last the one our story has waited for? The stage is set, the stars themselves hold their breath. The captain has glimpsed their future. Well, the captain tours my theater. Preparations are complete, but for one last thing. It is perfect, I would not permit otherwise. The trespasser captain stands on my stage to witness the entrance of the audience. Their crew fills the front row. More of their kind, recent arrivals, take the next few rows. Behind them, men of rubber and outcast bats and buzzing devils, and the rest are of no consequence. They can only hope for the privilege of witnessing a story greater than their own. They will finally have that chance. The humans disembark to enjoy the calm my garden provides. Flower-perfumed air brushes their oily skin. Red apples burden the trees and swollen berries cluster on every bush. They pause, cautious, but soon feasting begins. I'm sorry. Tour the theater? The captain turns to leave. No, you have been chosen for greatness. Take your seat. Leave then, captain, but my song will remain, whispering of the glory that you could have known. When it draws you back, my cast will be waiting. You will return. Okay. This is terrifying. Oof. I kind of want to go back, though. But I kind of want to go back. I mean, you saw that place. Also, this... Oh, there's a cantankerry. What the devil are you doing down here? Look at you, cute little worm-like creature. Aw. I should probably kill you. It looks like you plan to do the same to me. Break the news to the crew. Impose strict punishments. Yeah, that's fine and all. Come on. Make your move, buddy. Ah. Still managed to hit me. Still, it's dead. Okay. So how do we feel about never going back there? I'm sorry, an extinguishment, a knot of darkness. Eleutheria is right for them. But I thought this wouldn't... Oh, these are safe? Because last time I saw these exploding. And so naturally I was worried. This seems to be a nest. Like a bird's nest. Withered roots coil in the sky, tangled as plaits of witch's hair. Oh good, owl sounds! Well, only good things come in here. I remember reading about Lord Langley, strange fellow, strange ideas. Yep, cave ahead, hermits and mystics often retreat to places like this. That's nice. Oh, that. The bee. Well, press gang the hermit into your crew. Drag them from their cave, put them to work. The blind hermit's emaciated muscles are no match for your grip. You drag the terrified wretch from the cave where the cold Eleutherian light glints in the tears of their milky gray eyes. Limp and defeated, they put up no further resistance. I am a monster. But I'm doing quite well, I have to say. If I may say so. Langley Hall, little mingling. I'm kind of worried about this because, It says I'm live, but also it does seem to be lagging, at least on my little monitor here. Something I'll look at later. Might make this a short 1 hour stream, just to, keep an eye on everything. A limitless house that contains multitudes inside. Discovered by Lord Langley, it is now host to an endless house party. Worrisome! Okay, a jetty off the edge of nowhere. Cottage the size of a cathedral. Mellow candlelight shines through its frosted windows like spilt treacle. Here the vanished Lord Langley founded a home away from home, a London for the exiled, the lost, and the lovelorn. Distance is suspended inside, no one is ever claimed to have charted the entirety of the limitless hall. Enter. All are welcome here, provided they are welcoming of all here. A man in a faded postal uniform greets you at the end of a battered jetty. He carries a shuttered lamp in one hand. It lights the same deep amber hue of the last lamppost. Hello, hello, a new guest? This way, please. Let's get you somewhere warm. He produces a set of keys and strides towards the oak-paneled front door of the house. He knocks thrice and then unlocks the door. This way, the sound of laughter spills out. Inside, an endless house party is in full swing. Guests who enter Langley Hall rarely leave. This hall is the oldest part of the Langley's project. From here, staircases wend their way to other rooms, halls, landings, and wings of the cottage. Guests sit on stairs, sing from the banisters, or promenade along the halls in search of friends. The closest door to the entrance is wide open, revealing a cloakroom the size of a village green. Fires crackle in 7 hearths. Someone has set up a bar. Sign the guest book, just a little formality, the post officer says apologetically. Don't worry, we don't have many here. Ooh, I can determine how I'm addressed. Ooh, okay. I remain as we are, of course. But yes, he leads you to a little side room where a buffet, replete with dips and breadsticks, has been laid out. He produces a huge leather volume from under a table and moves some hummus so he can set it down. The spine indicates that this is volume 3. Tell us how you like to be addressed, whatever you like, who you really are, or who you want to be. Langley Hall will accept us all the same. Delightful. The post officer nods, blots the ink, and closes the book. Very good, Prof. You're welcome here for as long as you care to stay. He shakes your hand. One thing, just a note of caution. If you go exploring, we don't know how far the hall extends. I doubt even Langley does. Well, I suppose we must. Inquire after Lord Langley. It's only polite to introduce yourself to the master of the house, and the host of this endless party. Whew. The post officer looks deeply uncomfortable. Not sure I ought to say his lordship's business. This is his party, see? He found the house, and he wanted guests, invited those of us who, for one reason or another, weren't suited for what London had become. New London made him sick to his stomach, he said. The post officer runs a hand through his hair. I won't betray his hospitality, but I'll tell you what I know. If you agree that, if you do find him, you'll respect his wishes. That's what this place is about, respecting each other. You'll respect the intentions of Langley Hall, or say you will at any rate. Postal officer bites his lower lip. It's the topic of choice here. Where's Langley? Have you seen Langley? He sighs. Anyone who says they know the answer is lying, but if you want a place to start looking, when he was with us, he favored a particular chair in the lounge. An old friend of his is still in the yellow drawing room, and he was on good terms with the cook. He considers you for a moment. What if he doesn't want to be found? What if, wherever he is, he doesn't want to come back? Okay. I mean... Ooh. Hang up your coat and hat. You plan to be here for a while. You'll be able to explore more options in Langley Hall when you have declared your intention to stay a while, but you run the risk of wanting to come back. The hall engenders dreams that weigh like an anchor on the dreamer. A jovial doctor in a taupe white waistcoat manages the cloakroom. This way, Professor. Let's see if we have any space left. He guides you to a hat stand nestled between a vast tower of wigs and a row of pinstriped suits. Do let me know if you find anything interesting during your stay, he says, so I can avoid stumbling across it, you understand. I mean, explore, of course. Some floors are littered with rooms like the inside of a beehive. Others contain but a single bedroom. Doors rarely connect one or more rooms at a time, Lord Langley having apparently preferred his guests get some exercise when moving from the bedrooms to the library in search of a nightcap. Langley Hall stretches on for lifetimes. To find anything in the labyrinth, you'll need to go exploring. Going from floor to floor, even from room to room, one is often confronted with a staircase. These can vary between 3 and 300 stairs, and there's no guarantee that on descending one you won't immediately be confronted with one going up. I mean, we can exchange an unlicensed chart for help with our map of Langley Hall. An amiable cartographer has made a mission of mapping all of Eleutheria. He resides in Langley Hall, where he started his venture. Ooh, bad choice, dude. Bad choice. Of course, I've not seen the whole thing, but I thought I'd best try to see the rest of the region instead. I'm not getting any younger, and that seems a more achievable goal. Though Piranesi is going to give me some trouble, let me tell you. The smell of champagne rises from below, along with the unmistakable scent of fireworks. Open the kitchen door. Ribaldry can be heard from within. The smell of hot pot wafts tantalizingly toward you. Your explorations have borne fruit. You found the kitchen. You can practically taste the pepper in the air. Having found the kitchen, you'll always be able to return to it. Ha-ha! Excellent. Ooh. You are assailed with a wave of warmth and the aroma of bacon cooking on the cavernous stove. Seems that the real party is in here. Champagne corks pop. Someone's playing a viol. Cards are slapped onto the wooden table. A dozen flushed faces turn towards you, all beaming. Oh, I mean, how could I not? Talk to the notorious flirt. She disarms would-be suitors with bon mots that stay just on this side of good taste. What's the matter? Verdant eating your brain? You look like you've never seen a woman before. She practically inhales her whiskey. Delightful. Have yourself dealt in. The game looks complex. Oh. Luck of the draw. There are 214 cards compiled from a variety of decks, so that there are 6 aces of bats, each bears a different hue and a different function within the game. You may pair 6s, queens, and 4s, but never 7s. An ace held for more than 7 rounds can be exchanged for another card, but you may not choose which. The other players muddle through, seemingly as mystified as you are. The dealer is a wizened old man. He does not play, but he does arbitrate the rules with extreme vigor. You come out ahead, though you're not sure how. Let's talk to her again. Still, yeah, delightful. Anyway, return to the hallway. Need supplies. Need a caged catch. Okay. Fair enough. Let's do a little bit more exploring. I mean, we have the time. Exchange a moment of inspiration for help with your map of Langley Hall. A sardonic music hall singer has been here for years. She knows her way around this place and will assist you in exchange for help with a song. And I have only one moment of inspiration. Thought I had more. Well. Bloody marvelous. You're a goddamn wonder, you are, I guess? She recovers herself. I mean, it's alright. Liven things up in the drawing room for sure. Now, have you been this way? Got a pen? Can't find anything in this place for love nor money. She pauses. Well, maybe love. She makes a few adjustments to your map. Enter the little lounge. A door yawns open atop the next landing. Inside, candlelit sleep. Ooh. Sound of snoring is quite loud. The little lounge. The lamps are low, giving the room a warm amber glow. The wood paneling is dark. The wainscoting is decorated with sleeping cats. A fire, orange as a harvest moon, blazes in the hearth. Guests slumber on the enormous sofas, or else whisper to each other from the armchairs. But if you look, there are glasses of mulled wine. I mean, yeah, let's search Lord Langley's chair. It sits... Oh, excuse me. It sits unoccupied, far from the fire. It gathers dust and curious glances. I mean, of course. Ooh, 50. Neat. It would be best were your investigation not scrutinized. You wait for the opportune moment where enough of the guests are drowsing, wine-sodden and languid, to creep to the chair. It's a high-backed velvet horror that resembles a bat turned inside out. It creaks damnably if you so much as brush against it, much like my own chair. It requires a steady hand and limitless concentration to fish around the crevices. You find coinage, crumbs, and dust. The springs are damnable, the patterning lamentable. Finally, your hands hook around... what's this? A map? A map directing you to the study. Share your story. A group of guests gather by the hearth, sharing hushed confessions of what their lives used to be. Misery remembered. Your recounting of your adventures in the broken kingdoms of the stars are cut short by a young gentleman who interrupts with a flood of tears. Over the next hour, you are regaled with a story of heartbreak and lamentation. His love affairs are endless and conducted only in one key. Eventually, he is overwhelmed by anguish and also wine. There's a collective sigh of relief. One more. Much the same. Best I leave. You cannot linger here forever. You attempt to leave, you really do. You're up from the armchair and almost at the door, and then you hear the chiming of the second hour and you're back in the chair. Did someone give you a glass of wine? Did someone stoke the fire? Did Signora Domenica promise to show another trick with the mirror? You can't remember. Okay, I'm supposed to have a 33 chance of succeeding here. This seems like statistics are not with me. Oh, come now. A dream of a treacherous sanctuary. You curl up... Oh, this is a possibility. You curl up amidst the menagerie of cushions scattered into its couch, and lay your head to rest. The crackle of the fire lulls you into a state of half-sleep. You dream of a cellar deep beneath the building where creatures long sleeping begin to wake, gray-green and mottled, like cancerous worms. They were tasked with the devouring of distance, but have been lured to sleep. In their absence, a great crime has been perpetrated on top of them. One day soon, they'll wake. They'll be very hungry. You wake. One of your crew informs you they intend to remain in Langley Hall. Finally got out. You make for the door. A few languorous hands extend from various sofas, footstools, and poofs. Poofs. But you may pay them no heed. The door opens with a reluctant creak. The air is colder outside, the light's harsher. Yeah, I'm thinking we go, recover the coat and hat, and we're gonna go, though. It's time. The post officer escorts you to the dock. Not good to go out in the dark alone, Prof. He shadows you all the way to your engine. He waits on the platform as you make ready for departure. Even as the dark rolls in to swallow your engine, the amber light from his lantern lingers. Yep, think we're gone. Bye! I really wish that owl would stop. I really do. I do not like that owl. I do not want to deal with the owl. I forgot that there is a thing here. A bazaar, and more importantly, a place where I can buy food. But also, ooh. Not a fan of that. We had some problems there. What's in the cloakroom? Someone want to remind me how much bombazine costs? I mean, it'd only be, what, 450? 3 more. And profitable. Maybe we hold off on that. Just note that there is a possibility of us getting some bombazine here at Langley Hall. Remember it. Don't worry about it, though. The privy. Oh, just the toilet right there. On a different island? Really? Ooh, I might be able to get something out of this. Haha! Bronzewood. Excellent. I mean, not great, but you know what? I'll take it. Oh, one of those. I mean, I'd rather not deal with you, but I mean, if I have to. Also, whatever's following me, it can either attack me or just... I hate that it's just following me. Bugger. Okay, first of all, I went the wrong way. Alright, come on, little guy. Yeah, that's cute and all, but also, have you ever heard about the story of taking a shotgun blast to the face? Well, that's a bit of a problem now, isn't it? Yeah, did a fair amount of damage here. What do we got? The scribe spinsters were wrought from bronze wood, now popular with London train rides and cabinet makers. And I mean, we got an 88% chance of success, and I do need bronze wood. The axes rise and the axes fall. A lambent mist complicates the endeavor, but eventually your expedition returns with a haul of bronze wood planks. Well, we killed one. And the fact that there's a marker on that makes me think that was a bad choice, but whatever. It's fine, probably. An extinguishment, a knot of darkness. And I see that I got a tale of terror, unless I am much mistaken. Also, whatever that is. Oh, what? What are you? Wreck of the Beringer. A vast wreck, larger than any other locomotive you've seen. Armor rattles in the wind. An Albion flag flies, tattered almost beyond recognition. The hull is cracked like an egg. A charred and tangled engine exposed to the air. The Beringer, I guess, reads the nameplate, though some wag has appended a question mark. As you approach, you see figures scrambling behind guardrails, revolutionary slogans graffitied across every rusted surface. The Beringer is still very much occupied. A dozen figures in heavy coats hang from the side of the wreck, waving joyously as your engine docks. You step into the Beringer's hall to a swelling crowd, and a babble of cheery greetings. Everyone is wearing a mask. The crowd parts. A woman glides to your side. Her scarlet leather jacket gleams with buckles and vestigial straps. Her face is hidden behind a mask in the shape of a screeching bat's face. "Glad to have you aboard," says the unassailable founder, shaking your hand. The unassailable founder's bat mask is impassive, her voice anything but. The Beringer is a haven for free thinkers and freedom fighters, for libertines and liberators and librarians, she says. A lecture hall for those who prefer unbounded darkness to a cage of light. And if you disagree, well, the debating halls are there, second door on your left. She gestures to the wall of masks behind her. We all have roles here, she says. Choose carefully. Ooh. I know where you're from. Well, choose the Mask of the Aspirant. I'm curious, although... Take a peek at the Beringer. Once an experimental London dreadnought, the Beringer is now a lecture hall for revolutionaries and free thinkers. An unassailable founder welcomes and oversees its community, and I'm curious. If you can master the Beringer's esoteric code of conduct, you'll be able to attend the lectures, harangue lecturers, give better lectures of your own, and perform experiments too reckless or preposterous to be undertaken elsewhere. Interesting. Well, in that case, choose the Mask of the Aspirant, a sculpted silver rose, blank, eyeless, mouthless. The aspirant listens, says the founder, and blossoms. As the mask slips over your face, you realize that it is ingeniously designed so you can see perfectly between the folds of the silver petals. The aspirant's role is to absorb, says the founder. Go to the library and read a book, or go to the forum and enjoy yourself. Stay quiet. Grow. The Beringer's rusting innards have been hollowed. The walls and floors of a dozen interlocking corridors have been methodically stripped away, carving a vast, hive-like atrium draped with ladders and crisscrossed with rope bridges. Anarchists bustle back and forth between a circle of iron doors below. The largest are labeled laboratories, forum, and hall of debate. Your fellow aspirants are by far the most common among the masked figures. Dozens of silver-faced anarchists mill back and forth between the libraries and the forum, silent except for the occasional polite cough. Head to the forum. A stream of aspirants, supplicants, and recalcitrants are barreling through the double doors. Curious. Well, the forum greets you with a cacophony of competing voices and the acrid stench of gunpowder. This was once the Dreadnought's vast storage room, and now munition crates have been stacked and shoved together to create a semicircle of stages. Hopefully no one lights a cigarette. Oh, phew. You guys were not very... I mean, you could just toss out the... Okay. Nope, this is a good plan. All will be well. The stages are occupied by supplicants, voices raised. Attend a lecture. You flip between supplicants. One is tripping over his words, another reaching her conclusion. Finally, you find a speaker whose words are intriguing. The first lecture to catch your attention is being boomed across the forum by a tall, grotesquely muscular man with a beard that explodes from beneath his mask. His voice is both extremely loud and mesmerizing in its sing-song cadence. The other lecture you notice is being delivered by a compact woman of unmistakably military bearing, with one leg that appears to have been replaced below the knee by a fire poker. She's talking about something called the binary. A team of recalcitrants are trying but failing to shout her down. Listen to the lecture on the binary, because I do believe I know what she's talking about. The two suns that used to occupy Eleutheria, yes? Beneath the cries of her detractors, you only manage to catch snatches of the supplicant's lecture. Apparently, when the halved had a twin, it was collectively called the binary. The supplicants speak of devils in the binary's service, responsible for preparing a raiment of killing light for one of their masters before he went to war, and a mantle of merciful radiances when the other went to parley. But they betrayed their master, she says. Amid a fresh chorus of shouting, she begins to talk about a doomed peace conference, a peace with who you couldn't catch. Before she can say much further, recalcitrants storm the stage and drag her away. Some truths are too dangerous even for the denizens of the Berenger. Curious. Head there again. Oh, I can't? Bah. Well, we'll approach the terribly sorry. Approach the unassailable founder. Strike up a conversation or perhaps swap your mask. The founder lingers in the Berenger's central atrium, hands in the pockets of her leather jacket, chatting to everyone who passes. She combines an encyclopedic knowledge of everyone's names and habits with the uncanny ability to recognize them despite their mask. Questions, complaints, she asks turning to you, or simply here to take a new role? Ask her why her mask is different from the others. The face of the bat is distinctive. You have not seen another during your time aboard the Berenger. The founder laughs. My father was a diplomat for London in my formative years. We were stationed on an island called Visage, far out to sea. The locals' lives revolved around the mask they wore. We chose our faces for ourselves. I was keen to implement something similar here. She adjusts her bat mask. This represented the worst of outsiders, the exile who brought nothing but misfortune and death. After I turned traitor and left the Admiralty, it seemed an appropriate statement. Oh my. I would... Hum. A little more, perhaps. Switch to the mask of the supplicant. The supplicant's job is to talk, says the founder, fastening the mask of a hideously toothed anglerfish over your face, and perhaps entice. A miniature lantern dangles from your new mask, swinging back and forth between your eyes. The supplicant gives speeches in the forum, says the founder. Thanks to the mask, a person's reputation or lack thereof doesn't matter here. Just stand and talk, and if you're saying something worthwhile, perhaps you'll attract an audience. Oh god, it's exactly like Twitch and YouTube. Ugh. Head to the forum. Actually, I'm curious about the rest of this. You mask the scintillant, the hall of debate, the recalcitrant. Okay. Head to the forum. A stream of aspirants and recalcitrants are barreling through the double doors. Yes. Now, tell a story from your travels. It's not precisely a lecture, but as a supplicant, you can speak about whatever you wish. The right audience will find you. Ooh. Intriguing. I need 3 Eleutherian mysteries to deliver a lecture on the extinguishments. Okay. Curious. But no, we're just going to tell a story from our travels for now, because that's all I can do. It's not precisely a lecture, but as a supplicant, you can speak about whatever you want, and the right audience will find you. You climb onto an unoccupied stack of bomb crates and launch into a reliable favorite from your stable of anecdotes. You attract a small but excitable audience who gasp and cheer at all the appropriate moments. When you reach the conclusion, they applaud more than politeness necessitates. Perhaps one more, because I do like that removing of terror, and I do desperately need it. But I think it's time we head away. For now, you understand. Your crew expresses a measure of relief at leaving behind the Berenger's babble, its crowds, its ceaseless bustle, not to mention that riotous smell of rust and sweat and gunpowder. As the unremitting darkness swallows your train again, their relief turns to dismay. Maybe the Berenger wasn't so bad, they say. Maybe you could turn around? No, though. We cannot. There are great works to be done. Things to be found. I heard a gasp. Okay, that better be from the game. Because I heard like this rasping, breathing. And I'm not okay with that. Okay, I'm sorry, that kind of spooked me more than I expected it to. I could go after whatever's being all hostile to me. That seems like a bad idea. Oh, the howling wind's great. Because things weren't terrible enough already. Okay, whatever that was despawned. Great. Hey, buddy. You look like a much more dangerous version of those scribe sprinters. So I'm just gonna go away. Yep. Gonna leave. Would love to be able to say things, but I can't, so I'm leaving. I feel like this is punishment for, well, for killing scribe spinsters. Oh, dearie me, let me get out of here, get me back to Pan. This is not a place I want to be. I want to be not here. Not here. Anywhere that isn't here. Because here is awful. And I would explore those things, but I don't think they're ports. Although they might be. So goddamn, I hate that I'm doing this. Cool that I leveled up, but oh. I am making choices that I will learn to regret. I will come to regret, rather. But damn it, I'm making those choices. Oh good. Tea. That's worth it. Okay, you remember how I said this was like the colonial areas of Africa and to a lesser extent Asia? Like the colonial parts of that? I'm starting to think it's more like the horror of North America. Like North American horror. You know, like that dark forests and all sort of thing? Okay. Where am I? The Niobe Seclusion. A mansion of immense size surrounded by acres of neatly kept garden. It's tranquil here. In fact, it appears utterly devoid of life. The prison and the cottage, polyhedric sculptures, the dimensions eyes wateringly off. Oh, great! Grass of uniform color and uniform length, placid canals crisscrossed at right angles, all bisected by a pale gravel path, leading to a door of broad, ivy-shrouded mansion. Only its lack of windows betrays Piranesi as a prison. Utter silence bar the crunching of gravel beneath your feet. As you approach, you take note of a tiny cottage, incongruously nestled beside the mansion like a louse. A curtain twitches. Enter the cottage. The prison is locked, but the cottage door swings open at your approach. The only sound in the cottage is that of a teaspoon cleaning against porcelain. A group of brown-robed figures turn to regard you. One, gray-haired, gray-eyed, offers you tea. We are the chaplains, she says. Our role is to help inmates reach egress. You must understand, none may leave Piranesi unaltered. We can be your guide, pipes another. 2 tours per visit. Choose your chaperone and take care to follow the rules. Piranesi is a treacherous port and not amenable to low-level visitors. Ensure you are prepared. I don't think I am, but on the other hand, why not? Choose the gallant reformer as your guide, a chaplain with an amiable smile and gray-streaked hair. Seems like my kind of guy. Putting aside his tea and fetching an old iron lamp from a high shelf, once more onto the breach, he says with a tired smile. You follow him out of the cottage, up the gravel path, to the doorstep of Piranesi. Footprints are worn into the stone. He has no key. He simply knocks on the grand oak door and it opens. There's nothing and no one on the other side. You follow the reformer into the dark. Piranesi is, of course, bigger on the inside. The reformer's lamplight stretches only so far. You catch sight of dizzying spiral stairways, columns clad in chains, walls grooved by trickling water. The reformer strides ahead, boots splashing in the cold puddles. After a few minutes, you are halted by some toppled scaffolding. Piranesi has 3 rules, says the chaplain, helping you climb over the obstacle. The penalty for breaking them is incarceration, and the unwritten 4th rule is that chaplains are forbidden from explaining them to visitors, so I'm afraid you must discover them yourself. Tread carefully in the meantime. No. Continue following the reformer. The statuaries are not far now. Watch your step. The flagstones here are uneven. Further into the prison, you begin to see inmates, faint lights shuffling across distant bridges, hunched figures with lamps chained to their wrists. See those lamps that the condemned carry, asks the reformer. They impose a distortion of distance. A prisoner's proximity to the exit is determined by how much they have changed since they entered. The more they change, the closer they are to freedom. Some are more mutable than others, and severity of sentence may vary. The reformer raises his lamps over a cavernous well. Light does not reach the bottom. Those cast into the deepest reaches must change beyond all recognition. You stroll with the reformer through a forest of jutting stone limbs and impassive hands. A haunting refrain echoes. Somewhere, someone is playing the flute. Miscellaneous items scatter the floor: a sledgehammer, toy soldier, spinning wheel, a half-eaten jar of honey, a canvas, perhaps discarded by previous prisoners, perhaps provided to provoke or inspire change among those still entombed. Change needn't be bad, says the reformer. I try to help the prisoners improve themselves. The statuaries are but a fraction of Piranesi's whole. A comprehensive report, the reformer insists, would take years. Piranesi is vast, says the reformer, but I've been here for centuries. I can't pretend to know even half its secrets. But I can tell you about this little corner if it pleases you. He focuses on the progress of the prisoners. William's been doing extremely well. I taught him crochet, and he's managed a new accent. Most importantly, he's agreed to meditate daily on his past wrongdoing. I fancy he's near to escape. Wish the same could be said for poor Philomena, who insists on justifying the actions of her past self. You come upon a woman, or something shaped similarly to a woman, in a long brown coat and hat. Oh dear. She sits atop a stone idol where 4 paths cross. Her legs crossed beneath her long brown coat. Her hat is pulled low, covering her eyes. The reformer introduces you. This is the venerable flautist, the oldest prisoner of Piranesi. She's been here for centuries. And how has she changed in that time? She pauses her tune. Well, she says cheerfully, so far I've managed to learn the flute. Good. Tell her a story. She's eager for tall tales from the outside world. Lose a little terror, gain some bonds. A lovely tale, she plays you a tune quite incongruous with the bleak architecture of Piranesi. It rings of honey and sunshine and fills you with brandy warmth. She sits atop the... 22% chance of succeeding. She sits atop a stone idol where 4 paths cross. Her legs cross beneath her long brown coat. Her hat is pulled low, covering her eyes. Oh, I'm sorry, this is just... we had this already. Ask about the rules of Piranesi. She's been here longer than anyone. She must have worked out the rules by now. That didn't sound good. Instead of replying, she plays a short, unhappy tune. I suppose, shall we begin? The reformer rings a bronze bell. Prisoners gather like fireflies. The reformer moves between prisoners, fixing them one by one with an inescapable stare. For each, he has questions. What are your regrets? What suffering have you caused? Answer honestly. It's the only way you can escape. After that, the questions become specific, forensic. When the prisoner runs out of words, he quickly moves on and subjects another to his relentless interrogation. When he comes to the fifth prisoner, he steps back and nudges you. Your turn. Tell the prisoner a horrifying story of what happens to those who fail to correct their sins. Oh. Cautionary tale, I suppose. Tell the prisoner a horrifying story of what happens to those who fail to correct their sins. Shoot. I saw some things. There were other options. Dang it. As you reach a particularly grisly part of your story, color drains from the prisoner's face. I'll be good, she promises fervently. You can stop with the details. The reformer claps a hand on your shoulder and chuckles softly. I suppose we must leave then. The reformer pauses beside an unlit candelabra and pulls it like a lever. A section of wall rumbles aside, revealing a staircase. A shortcut, he explains. Soon enough, you left the confines of Piranesi, and the sky seems dazzlingly wide. The reformer returns to his cottage, patting you amicably on the shoulder as he leaves your side. Well, let's choose the gray conformer as our guide. Gray hair, gray eyes, and a gray expression. More cement than steel. She reminds you this is your last tour of the day. Very well, with marionette precision, she puts aside her tea and fetches an iron lamp from a high shelf. I will guide you to the best of my ability. You follow her out of the cottage, up the gravel path, to the doorstep of Piranesi. Footprints are worn into the stone. She takes an ornate silver key from her pocket, and when the door is locked, she holds it open for you. The conformer follows you into the dark. You follow the conformer down staircase after winding staircase, finally reaching a maze of flooded tunnels. The walls bristle with fierce black mold. The water is opaque. You can't see your feet. Here the most deeply condemned wallow, says the conformer, like this servitor, too inflexible to change on its own. A twig-limbed creature slumps in the corner, raising its head only fractionally at her words. She wades past it without a second glance. Approach the brittle servitor. Its face, or mask, is expressionless porcelain. Its lamp is shackled to limbs that are twisted and blackened like burnt wood. Even as you step closer, you cannot tell if it's wearing a mask or if its face is made of porcelain. Luminous eels swim around its feet, but they vanish when you look at them directly. The lesser being has come to offer obeisance. Its words are the thudding echo of a stone bell, or perhaps to marvel at the disgrace of its superior. This servitor lacks the malleability to escape the aberrant twins' prison. Will the lesser being assist its superior? Refuse to help the servitor. He needs to work on his people skills. Outraged, the servitor doesn't move. Shadows dance angrily on the wall behind it. You're entombed in a casket, miles beneath the soil. You've always been buried here. You had no life, only a death. You scrabble uselessly at the stone lid, clawing broken fingers down familiar grooves. The conformer clicks her tongue, and you find yourself back in Piranesi, if you ever left. The servitor has turned its expressionless face sulkily to the wall. Might be I speak to him again. Eavesdrop on the conformer's questions. She has cornered some shivering prisoners, and is interrogating them with a precision and patience more unnerving than any rage. When did you last feel anger, regret, grief? Why were you condemned? What did you do wrong? Would you prefer to forget? She listens to each answer with the barest hint of revulsion. As the prisoners pour out their hearts, they start to look puzzled. Most fall silent. Some try to keep going, talking circular nonsense. I've been there. They seem to be forgetting their stories as they speak them. When the prisoners finally trail off in confusion, she delivers her advice. Shuck your memories, abandon emotions, vacate your soul. Yo, you're a pain in the ass, but maybe the reward for freeing something so ancient and puissant should make its arrogance bearable. I don't think so. The lesser being will travel to the House of Rods and Chains, says the brittle servitor. It will petition the aberrant twin through its intermediary in the belfry. It will demand the servitor's freedom, a recompense for the 2 centuries of inconvenience. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave Piranesi. My business here is concluded. The conformer does not quite smile. The conformer marches silently up an endless, spiraling staircase, not looking back to see if you're at her heels. The great conformer strides before you, her footfalls soundless. Up narrow stairs, over precarious bridges, beneath crumbling bartizans. The architecture seems to have changed since you last walked here, but it's as jumbled and impressive as ever. You pass a squalling thing clinging to the wall. It lacks structure or substance except its stark eyes. What was my name? It mules. What is this thing? It stretches a vague, pleading limb in your direction. Ignore it and move on. It looks beyond help. Gain the soul flaw. Cold. The soul ball is icy to the touch. The thing's whimpers become a long, reedy screech. It's soon out of... Yeah. Okay, we're just gonna go. We're just gonna go. You've completed your 2 tours of Pyrenees. As you exit, you hear the door lock behind you. I'm gone. Bye. Bye. I'm done. I'm done. Turn and leave. I'm sorry, what? As you leave, you come across the glistening deformer in the cottage's herb garden. He's still wearing his hooded robes, but he's stuffed gardening gloves over the sleeves, and is engaged in a furiously futile attempt to stamp his shovel into the stony soil. We're currently indisposed, he grunts, noticing you for the first time. We'll be open to visitors again in 2 weeks. As you turn to leave, he finally manages to embed his spade into the ground and levers up something tendrilled and twitching from the soil. Yep, this is a delightful place. I am not going to stay here. Cask of Navarrentine gemstones. Ooh. Tea for sale. Buy tea. Everyone likes tea, please. Yeah, sure, buddy. I do like tea, in fact. So, yes, thank you. Okay, well. I think I'm going to call it there. I do kind of want to check a few other things. I'm actually seeing a considerable amount of lag here, which doesn't make sense to me. So yes, I want to check a few things on my streaming setup, so I'm going to call it there for today. Thank you very much for watching this, and take care, alright? See you guys on Thursday, or on Saturday. Same time, 10 p.m. EST. And bye. Bye-bye. Oh, well, shoot.